how much does your bike play a part in your confidence?
It's one of the podcast topics that I have had written down since we started this.
Oh,
And it's, can a new bike level you up? Can a new, and is it just giving you the confidence because you're like, this is new, and my belief system is that it's a better bike. My belief system is that because, the advertisers and the bike manufacturers and everyone tells me that it's got this slack angle and this seat tube angle and this geometry and this suspension, and I got these tires on it. I mean, sometimes I put new tires on my bike, and just knowing there's new tires on my bike makes me more confident. Yeah. Is it the new tires, or is it just the belief that, oh, there's new tires on here, I'm going to corner better? So when I had my 2019 Stump Jumper, that I felt like that was the first bike where I was like, this bike leveled me up.
Yes.
I got more confident on that bike. There was something about the geometry of that bike that gave me more confidence. Yeah. The Evo that I have now is a great bike, and I feel really good on it. And I like it. The Pivot Firebird that I bought in Arizona, that I demoed and then bought the same day, I went online and bought one right away. That is another level bike. That is a special bike. I feel like that bike actually does increase my abilities to ride certain features on the trail. It's got more travel. It's got that DW link. It climbs like a billy goat. I love that bike. If I was going to choose one bike out of all the bikes I've ever ridden, I would choose the Firebird, even though it's heavy. It's heavier. Evo's a great bike. I got no problems with it. It's first world problems of too many cool bikes. But all that to say, I do think a bike can level you up. I do think it can add confidence, but I don't think that I went from the bike I'm riding last year, the Stump Jumper, to 2019 Stump Jumper, to the 2023 Evo. I don't think there's enough of a difference in those bikes that I feel. The Evo is definitely a better bike, but
I'm going to slightly disagree with you for just knowing you.
You might be right.
Because that Evo is really special in that you can adjust it so many different ways. You have the two chips, so you can adjust the front and you can adjust the back. And I distinctly remember you telling me how much stabler, that's not even a word, how much more stable the bike felt on the downhills. And I know it because I tried following you and I couldn't even touch you. Like, that bike inspired confidence because of how slacked out it got. And so by that very nature, that bike raised your confidence level. You're turning, same thing. You put that new rubber on your tire, and the e-bike helped too, because once you got on that e-bike and you started trusting that e-bike had that extra weight. And so it really pushed you and the bike into those turns, which is what you need to do on a turn. You need to commit and force yourself into that turn. Yeah, because
any turn.
But any turn, but very much so on a berm, because it's like a pump track. We talk about that all the time. A turn is basically a pump track on its side. And for the longest time, you had a really hard time of committing, pushing yourself into that turn because of, for whatever reason, that e-bike unlocked that for you. You were like, okay, I'm pushing into this. It's centering me. It's already heavy and it's gripping. Then you took that very next.
I trusted it. The same word.
That's right.
The same word.
That's
trust.
Right.
Yes.
That's right. And then you took that and you applied it the very next ride to your Evo, which had new tires. But my goodness, I've never seen you.
I applied it at Blue Mountain Bike Park. The next ride on the Evo was at Blue Mountain Bike Park. And
you were
cornered the best that I ever have at that bike park. I was hanging with you. Yeah.
Yeah. On both places, on Dane's Run, which has some really sharp turns, and at Blue Mountain Bike Park. I've never seen you corner so well. So I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say that the bike did help to level you up.
Yeah. Okay. I'll buy that. I mean, that Evo is slack. It does have a lower center of gravity. It does corner really well. I ripped a whole bunch of side knobs off at Blue Mountain, just tore them off on the back tire. So I had to put new tire on there. It was no choice. And for the first time, I know people talk about the differences, feeling the difference in a tire.
Oh yeah.
It just, like, psychosomatically, it really helps. It gives you like that boost of confidence that you have new rubber on there. But I felt like Sunday was the first time that I could feel this tire digging. Maybe it was the conditions, but I could just feel that tire digging in, and I was committing to the turns. We got a PR on one of the more turny downhills that I was following you. But yeah, we were moving, and I was right on you. And usually that's where you get me. Sage is such a water bug in the turns. Like he's lightning quick. And somehow I stayed on you. Now, you did have that tube in, so I don't know that you were actually able to corner as fast.
No,
I'm just saying.
It. No.
Ride Laugh 1 at Gmail, YouTube comments. If a tubeless tire at 25 PSI versus a tire with a tube at 32 PSI, is that going to make a difference in flat corners? Berm's okay, but in flat cornering, listeners?
I don't know, but don't sell yourself short. I didn't think about my tire at all. It was you that brought that up, and I didn't think about that the whole day. And you were absolutely crushing it. And you know what? I didn't have that tube at Blue Mountain at
yes,
that one section. Oh yeah, I did. Okay, but you know what? Case closed.
Your Honor. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, ladies and gentlemen of the podcast audience,
I present to you
our Paris correspondent. Doesn't know French, doesn't know when he put the tube in the tire, doesn't know what PSI he was running.
Oh.
Which all this is the case against me being as good a cornerer. There's the word. I said, I'm being such a good cornerer today. It felt like I was running a funeral home.
A corner.
So, okay. This is just another win for the e-bike because I felt like the e-bike really helped me learn how to turn in berms. I've also been practicing that on my pump track. So these are things that I have been actively working on, but it's kind of coming together. And when I trust it with new rubber and a nice bike, and when I trust it, my cornering has just really improved recently on berms and on flat turns.